believing that we ain't lost. Brother, I'm an Israelite. Sin is like kryptonite. Brothers won't pray, no, they rather link a chick tonight. Praises to the Most High. I ain't like most guys. Eyes on the future, but I learned from a boat ride. Tribe of Benjamin, inherited on both sides. Background Jamaica, mistreated, and I know why. I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites. I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites.
Kwam Yasha Allah, sons of the power. Rise from the ghetto when Satan want us devoured. The seal of the Lord ain't found in church towers. Never dying on my knees like no coward. Wanna be an Israelite, you gon' need more than fringes. You gon' need to show you approve and get in them scriptures. Oh, I forgot to mention, traumatized from the lynching. Homicide, we the victim. Homicide ain't the ending. Kids with PTSD, suffering symptoms. Never getting treatment, something he gotta sleep with. Stockholm syndrome so long, it ain't a secret. That's why I die for them brothers I'm facing east with. Cause I'm an Israelite, crackers better get it right. Visions of my enemies, death flow through my dreams at night. If your mind ain't there, then we don't dream alike. Reporting live from hell, home of Christians and Edomites.
I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites. I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites.
While they play the sidelines, comfortable on benches. Catch me on the front lines, putting work in trenches. Making sure our election, preparing for Armageddon. Mastering this profession of prophesying these lessons. Protecting our adolescents and answering all their questions. Teaching the love they reflection, no matter what the complexion. We got a common connection, a part of God's hand selection. A shot at the resurrection, through us achieving perfection. But to give life takes sacrifice. Battle demons every fight. Short days and long nights. Less sleep and more fights. More wisdom, more strife. Telling everybody that they wrong and you're right. I'm an Israelite, blood of an Israelite. I ride for my Israelites and die for my Israelites. We owe a debt cause Christ paid the price. So who ready to give their life the life of an Israelite?
I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites. I'm an Israelite, die for my Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for my Israelites. Going through it cause we're Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites.
Yep. Hey, Shalom, y'all. What's up? I ain't shit. What's happening with y'all? Huh? No, I don't. From the dust to the dawn outside. So when the morning outside, it's a war outside. My sword drawn outside. This Excalibur, you better be all outside. Cause it's a war outside. I get it on outside. You in the crib, but the war outside. I get it on outside. That's the definite cannonball breaking shit. Excellent. Rhyme for rocket bombing like the president. I remain strong, king. You with the prevalence, I show you exactly what we do. That's how I represent. Hardcore, heaven sent, chain on, hella bent, throwing all black when they spot me like the leopard print. Oh, I got the braids in, shades on, made men, cause we put in work to stop the earth until they cave in. Walk strong, talk heavy, hold my own. You rock solid when we about to leave the sword, the stone, nigga. We warriors, hardcore, tracking the pride, to let the Hebrew speak, nigga. General eyes, and we talking super heavy, nigga. That's the surprise. With all scripture, street talk, word the captain the car, nigga, we blazing, ripping the mic with all facts, doing the knowledge to the max, till we cracking the pavement. U.P.K, got the one West Harlem, nigga. We spring forward and they falling like it's autumn, nigga. Talking to all them niggas born in the mud. If you ain't feeling this, you call them plug, and that's real. Oh, I get it, cat tie, or they not of my kind. I get the order that is handled kind, not the one kind, without a doubt in my mind. I'm finna stop and recline. Anybody that come against us, they should probably resign. It's a war going on outside, no man is safe from. I hate these niggas throwing shots, but can they take some? Christ says, sell out your garments to get a sword now. I'ma go and sell out these polos to get a 4 pound. Game sure ain't started the war, but I'ma end it, cause the spiritual war could turn carnal any minute. I remember riding back in the days, window was tinted, but Salaki, I'm done with that carnal shit, I repented. And they bomb-proof the booth every time I'm about to go win it. You ain't know this shit, I live for this truth, and I'ma defend it. And I get my second win just as soon as these niggas get winded. There's a war going on outside. I'm jumping in it. There's a war going on outside. You in the crib, but the war outside. I get it on outside. From the dust to the dawn outside. So when I'm on outside, I'm catching wreck and they drawn outside. Cause it's a war outside. My sword drawn outside. This Excalibur, you better be all outside. Cause it's a war outside. I get it on outside. You in the crib, but the war outside. I get it on outside.
Nobody's safe, it's a war out here. If you pussy in the streets, you a whore out here. See me all suited up in my fallout gear. 762, slip your fucking car out here. No burner, I still a break your jaw out here. No fear, if you scared, get a motherfucking pit. Or sit up in the church, you a motherfucking bitch. I give you in the verse, but I give you in a clip. It's 32 rounds of fire, it never quit. A lot of fuckery going down, so what's the purpose? Sick of hanging around these clowns, get out the circus. If you cross that line, then you get lit up. The worst is all black hearses, tinted with black curtains. Docs on site.
Check. Y'all put a 1 in the chat. If y'all give me put a 1 in the chat, you hear me?
Ready for that bullshit, kind of like a matador. Get this kind of focus, you gon' need some Adderall. Something just to lock you in. Behind them padded walls, they say I got some screws loose, and that's true too. Don't let me let them.
No, we don't need it.
It's like I transform the booth to a war room. Come up with a strategy, maximizing your calories. Courage of King David, battling like a Maccabees. Find out who you think that nigga fought to him casually. Then proceed to bar his life away rapidly. Take a knee for your majesty, take it they hate it savagely. I try leaving rap alone, but I guess that this happened to keep you grounded like gravity. In the field, but it's amity. Horror, I see calamity. Scar you up with my family. Mumble rappers be mad at me. Fuck them up in they faculty. They words sweet, sit in they mouth. They causing cavities. Yeah, it's so cool. None of you suckers worry.
There's a war going on outside. You in the crib, but the war outside. I get it on outside. From the dust to the dawn outside. So when I'm on outside, I'm catching wreck when they drawn outside. Cause it's a war outside. My sword drawn outside. This Excalibur, you better be all outside. Cause it's a war outside. I get it on outside. You in the crib, but the war outside. I get it on outside.
Well, I had to get used to wearing these glasses. Now I can see through anything. Bionic ball. Yeah. Come.
One west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me.
You're taking a lot to me, right?
I be one west till the death till they bury me. One west till they bury me.
I'm gonna let you deal with whatever comes to.
I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west till the death till they bury me. I be one west till the death till they bury me. They ain't scaring me. That was soul out of Pharisee. Speaking heresy and get you fucked up apparently. It's like they daring me. I said chill, they ain't hearing me. They ain't listening. Every bar nitroglycerin. Hit your heart, bring it back to start, make you live again. Get them dividends, so we start getting
ready.
I be on that soldier shit. I told you shit phenomenal. Nah, but he a domino. So what you suckers trying to do?
Check. We in here. All right. Let me see. Yeah, we got everything bunk, y'all. Try to teach you a little bit, a little willing. Spirit of Most High Christ in here tonight. Everybody seem like they preoccupied tonight, huh? Whole bunch of distractions, you know what I'm saying? But Tell you what, man. Yeah, we are where we supposed to be at. That's all that matters. These times are definitely coming, brother. Definitely coming. Like this night. Put a little fire here right quick. Yeah. I'm at my slave. Woman say, "You got 2 wives?" I say, "Yeah, I do." I don't know how. I said, "What you got? How many men you got?" Like, you know what I'm saying? How many men you got? Well, I am, and I ain't the person I used to be. I said, "Yeah, but the men you was dealing with had to deal with who you used to be. So you mean they never got the relief of you being what you used to be? Yeah. Now all of a sudden you done figured it out. All the suffering that you done put all the other men through, all the torment and all the time you use them, all of a sudden." And she said, "Well, I just want a ring on my finger." I said, "What's more important, the sex or the ring?" She looked at me. "I ain't never thought about that." I said, "Yeah, so you put all the onus on this piece of paper that you want everybody to sign. But the thing that you're supposed to have reserved to a husband, what's valuable to a husband, the men before in your past, they already tasted your goods. You want to talk about a piece of paper now in 2025. Woman, you 58 years old, wanting a man to put a ring on it. Make it make sense." She just looked at me. She said, you tell it straight, don't you? I said, "I don't tell it straight. I'm just telling it like it was told to me." I'm too wild about it. Yeah, I'm good. We're gonna get to it. Chop this thing up tonight. Young man James in the building. Most High in Christ. Young man James, I see you working on something. You better be careful. You're gonna get that oil now. You're gonna get that oil. All right. So let's get it. Shalom, Yahweh, Shemal, Sharbak, Thumb to the Akim, to the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh, Shemal, Thumb, Bahashim, and Shai to the sisters. I'm priest and officer of 5,000 Zion, y'all out of Fayetteville, North Carolina. In 2025, there's nothing more imperative than us waking up to the truth. What is the truth? The truth is the so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Indian, or the true Jews of the Bible. We belong to the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. Why they say we're lost? Because we don't know our identity as a people. We call ourselves after proverbs and bywords and all the different sayings, and whatever the oppressor says, it's okay for us to call ourselves after thwart. Most High, all right. Whatever the Most High says is okay for us to call ourselves after. So when we start teaching this truth of the Bible, allow our people, man, their ears, they peak, the ears become open and their eyes begin to look and see, but they don't understand it. They hear us saying that we are the greatest people on the face of the earth, and they understand that, bunk, y'all, because they know that we are the kindest, we are the most respectful, we are the most giving, we are the most trustworthy. You understand? And you may think I'm crazy for saying this, but the oppressor trusts their children with us more than they trust themselves. That's a fact. Big facts. Go look it up. When you talk about children care, the oppressor trusts our sisters more than they trust their own sisters. You understand? Their own kind. So what did they let you know? The propaganda that is pushed in the earth about who we are as Black, Hispanic, Native Indian is all false. Now, we have some cleaning up to do. That I can't lie to you about. We definitely have some cleaning up to do, but first we have to recognize that we are in a system that is oppressive. We have to recognize that this system really hates us. You understand? So we can separate from it. We have to recognize that we have to understand the value within ourselves and stop giving it away so easily. You know what I'm saying? We're looking for things for a nation that could not save us. That's what the Bible says, right? So I want to tonight is the biblical law class. I want to get into a few. It's a roundabout way, Bunk, y'all. It's not like it's a law class, but I want to talk about something in the law or things that happen once you understand the law, right? So if I could, my topic on tonight would be law and the reality of life, right? Law and the reality of life. And when I say the law and the reality of life, everybody understand that everything that you do in the earth, there is a cause and a what? There's a cause and a what? Anybody? Y'all can chime in. Everything that you do in life, or you understand while we living in this life, there's a cause and a what? An effect, right? So we good with it. So understanding there's a cause and an effect, there also to add to it, there are consequences to your actions, right? This allows you to accept what? We understand cause, effect, consequences to your actions. All these things should amount to us accepting what? Accountability. Right? Cause and effect, consequence to your acts should allow you to accept accountability, right? Accountability allows you to look at what? Reality. Law and the reality of life. Understanding the law, statutes, and commandments allows us to see the effects of us doing evil in the earth, or the effects of us doing what is righteous in the earth. The Most High has given us law, statutes, and commandments to help us discern or see what is right or wrong according to what is taught in the law, right? And by living the law, statutes, and commandments, we live in a life that is full of what? Reality, man. Reality. It's right in front of our faces. That's the truth, right? So we talk about cause and effect. Consequences to your actions allows you to understand accountability. Also, accepting reality, man. So the question I would have to start off class with, what is reality? What is reality? Somebody define reality for me. Reality. If y'all don't mind. If y'all want to join the class online, I can add the link in the chat, and y'all can join the live if you like. You know, I leave that as an open option if you like, so you can come into the class. I can actually see you on camera if you like. It's always an option. You don't have to, but it's an open invitation. Okay. So somebody, Bunk, y'all, you got the definition of reality?
Yeah, check.
Come on, I got you.
So, like, if I may, Merriam-Webster's online dictionary,
Mm-hmm.
reality as a noun, the primary definition states the quality or state of being real.
Mm-hmm.
The secondary definition, a real event, entity, or state of affairs.
Mm-hmm.
The totality of real things and events.
The totality of real things and events, right? So that's reality, right? Understanding the law helps us understand the totality of events, meaning the events will be the things that you do, the things that you say, which are your actions. Understanding the law, statutes, and commandments, and living by the law, statutes, and commandments, and being taught the law, statutes, and commandments help all of us understand reality, man. Because without this law, these laws, our reality would be just like this place is now. It's all over the place. The standards are gray areas all over the place. A woman can wear a bathing suit and can and be perfectly fine on the beach, but she can't walk in a store with what they're doing it now, bra and panty and undergarments on, lingerie out in the public. They're doing it now, but the lines, the gray area, are allowing you to do this. You will say the Bible says marriage is between what? A man and woman. That's reality, right? That's the law. But without the law, this world is accepting a false narrative of what God says. Wow. And because the world is living this false reality of what God says, guess what's happened? These are consequences that follow, man. You understand? So all the consequences that we done looked at in life and the things that we engage in life, outside of knowing what God says, we see that. We see what happens. We see the reality of what happens. You understand? The law helps us deal with reality and avoid drama. That's what the law, statutes, and commandments helps us do. You remove the laws and understanding what God says in His Bible. It's filled. We had nothing but drama all over the goddamn globe, man. Look, you wouldn't even be able to say that somebody is treating you wrong without understanding what God says. Every religion, every culture, every establishment are all based upon the biblical text that the Most High put in place on the earth. You can't go nowhere without understanding that murdering someone is wrong. But you'll still have people that do it and receive the consequences of their action, which is called what? Reality. You have people that steal all over the globe. Now, in some cultures, stealing is not wrong. But if somebody stole from you, understand the reality that you live in, you would consider them to be what? Wrong. All these things we live with from day to day are biblically based. But your Christian pastor would not tell you that. Your grandparents didn't quite understand it. The great-great-grandparents, they didn't understand it. So we talking about us being taught by generations after generations of not knowing what God really wants from us. You understand? And 1969, the I.S.U.P.K hit the streets, and the Lord has allowed this truth to be pushed throughout the earth. So now we understand the reality and the consequences of what good and evil both look like. If you got any questions about what I'm saying, please put them in the chat. Somebody I want y'all to do me a favor, Baba Kushar. Now, from Captain Zaryat, I was watching Captain Zaryat this morning. He was just like, y'all put a number from number 5 or 10, right? 5 or 10. What type of person were you without the law? Meaning understand the reality of your actions. Because everybody could be like, man, I was a good person. According to what you know now, right? According to the things that you learned in the I.S.U.P.K since you've been coming to class, were you a 5 or a 10 without understanding the law?
So, like, if I may,
come on.
5 meaning evil, or
if you say evil, that's on you. Now, if you want to say evil, that's on you. I'm just saying, without understanding the things that you know now, I'm just gonna say 5. You know what I'm saying? Were you a 5 or a 10? Huh? No. I mean, from the lowest to the highest. You was a 9. No. I'm talking about 5 being the lowest.
The lowest as far as what?
Your scale of wickedness. 10 being the highest. Yeah. You was a 9? Okay. Most High Christ. Without knowing the law. Without knowing the law, you was a 9. You would consider yourself to be a 9.
I would consider myself probably worse than 9. But
know what I'm saying? No, don't do 7, 5 or 10. Don't try to sneak a 7 in there. 7. No, you can't. From a scale, listen to me, Akim Akwati. From the scale of 5 or 10, without knowing the law, what would you consider yourself to be in the life you used to live without knowing this truth? So I see a 3, I see a 5. Young man James went below a 5. Damn. Sister Juanita said 10. Your computer and your phone gonna stop working in a minute. I promise you. It's all good. I want to see some more. I want to see what 4 people. I know. It look like we got more people. I want to see what we have in the class. I want to know what's the answer, because I want to know, without knowing the law, were you able to avoid drama? Without the law, were you able to avoid accountability? Without the law, were you able to go around the consequences? Because without knowing the law, what are the consequences to your actions when you don't know right or wrong? Without the law, how do you accept accountability for doing something that you know is wrong? Because all those things are loosely based on what you deem to be right or wrong, not what God says. If you ever celebrated a Christmas without knowing the law, you thought you was right. If you ever celebrated a Thanksgiving without knowing the law, you thought you was right. If you've ever eaten pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster without knowing the law, you thought you was right. If you ever had sex with a man and you left that man to be with another man, you thought you was right. You thought whatever that you felt you was capable of doing, you thought there was no wrong in doing it. But when the drama showed up, bunky y'all, right? When the drama showed up, you was like, damn, I must have done something what? Wrong. When the consequences popped up, I must have thought I'd done something wrong. Sister Calliope said 7.5. Some people don't listen. Some people see, this is part of the accountability issue right here. I said 5 or 10. I didn't say between. Pick one. 5 being the lowest, 10 being the high. That's it. Don't try to find the soft spot in there, because everybody's going to say without knowing the law, I was a good person. And that's a lie. Without the law, you was an absolutely terrible person, because you know what you did? You hid a lot of you can hide a lot of things from the brother or sister that's beside you. And I'll never see it, Bunk, y'all. Captain 9 Thought never saw it. Young man James never saw it, right? But what were you doing that the Most High, that you know today, that you know the Most High seen you doing, that in your mind you're like, damn, I was wrong for that? What do you call that? That's called accountability, right? That's the only way that real change takes place. The Most High laid out these laws, statutes, and commandments for us to look at our lives and evaluate our lives and our loved ones and say, you know what? I was wrong for doing that. I was wrong for living that way. I wasn't listening to what I didn't know what I know now. And to learn that, now you can begin to live in what? Reality. Right? That's all we're asking. That's what the laws is about. The laws are based on us to be able to look at ourselves in the mirror and say, I want to live a real life. I want to live in reality. I don't want to live in this bubble of delusion. Trying to join this empire and thinking you can be the great American, be all you can be. You're living in the mindset of what? Delusion. Celebrating the 4th of July, you're living in the mindset of delusion. Thinking that we're all one nation under God, indivisible with liberty and justice for all. You're living with the mindset of delusion. Thinking that Christianity is the way. That's delusion. Thinking that Christ was some stringy-haired dog. That's delusion. But when you wake up to the reality of who Christ was, what Christianity, how the Most High laid out things to be, then you can live life, man. Or you can choose death. I remember cats growing up saying, man, you know, you smoke a little weed, Craig. Get high, man. Some people say you were stimulating your mind. That's not what God says. You get onto these drugs to escape the see that's what it called, ain't the bunk, y'all. People use drugs to escape what? Reality. Christianity is a drug that our people suffer because they are trying to escape what? Reality. Yeah, let this sink in for a little bit. We just talking about the truth of what God says, man. That's in the Bible. And I know you're not going to like it, but it's good medicine. That's what the laws are for. All right. So let's get into let's do my one more thing. Personal. Come on with it, bro.
So, like, if I may, it's very heavy that you brought this up, because this weekend at the cookout, General Hyman responded to one of Officer Barack's questions with regard to religion, and this is what he said.
Oh man,
he said this is, I think he quoted some Chinese philosopher, forget his name, it escapes me at this moment, but he said, "Religion is the opium of the masses."
Ooh, yeah,
that's what he led off with.
Yeah, that's a Chinese proverb.
He led off with that. And it suggests that religion serves as a form of painkiller or pacifier. So when you talked about we do drugs as a form of escapism to escape reality,
yeah,
that's exactly what religion is.
That's exactly what it is. Most High in Christ, the water for Most High. I like that. That's definitely a pacifism. You know what I'm saying? But learning the law, statutes, and commandments breaks through all of that. You're able to deal with whether you're right or you're wrong based on what God says, not what you desire. You understand? Then you can live a life that is pleasing to the Most High. Who gives a damn about what your mother says or what your father says or your sons or your daughter? Who gives a damn what they say? How does the Most High view you and how you live your life? Who gives a damn about what your friends say? What somebody else is doing? You accept your own goddamn accountability. And that's the problem with a lot of the people now that's in the earth, man. Sometimes your shit stinks. Don't try to spray all the Bath and Body Works and the what you call them, Bunk, y'all? Febreze and all these other things. Your shit stinks. But you want to walk around and pretend like it doesn't. And you see everybody has their nose pinched from the things you're doing. The things you're doing. You got people that still have their nose pinched from the things that you did to them in the past, Bunker, y'all. And you don't think you should live a life that is pleasing to the Most High so you can become a breath of fresh air to somebody who meets you? Or you still want to be that same old person? That same wicked person. Step into reality and wake up that the law, statutes, and commandments will allow you to escape that stench that you've been carrying your whole goddamn life. That we all been carrying our whole life. Wake up. There's a way to do things in the earth, but we're not listening to what God says. Personal responsibility or personal accountability. Knowing the law, statutes, and commandments. So let's do this. Let's jump into this verse. Let me get the book of Psalms 111, verse 10. Psalms 111, verse 10.
This is the book of Psalms.
Hold on a second. Everybody, they just listen, and I want them to actually go pick up their Bible. Open up the Bible app and read along. Everybody got it? Everybody give me a thumbs up in the chat once you get it. So let's do that. Let's give me a thumbs up in the chat, or just put a one west in there. Put a one in there once you get it. Just put a one in there once you get there. You can pull it up on your phone or your Bible, however you want to do it. But y'all just be in the class with us tonight, Lord willing, all right? Come on with it, Bunk, y'all.
It's the book of Psalm, chapter 111, verse 10.
Come on.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. His praise endureth forever.
Most High in Christ. That's heavy, right? So it says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. What does that mean? What are we talking about? What happens when you fear something?
So, like, if I may, you fear something, you have a different respect for it. Like, you can acknowledge that this thing, there's consequences for how I treat this thing.
Yes. Perfect word. There are consequences, right? That there are cautionary measures that I need to take when I'm stepping into this thing, when I'm going toward dealing with this thing here. All the other things I can play with. I can play with a hoverboard. And I don't know, hoverboard will bust your ass too. I don't know about a hoverboard. Give me some of. You can play around with your video games, right? You can play with tic-tac-toe. You can play around with a yo. You can play around with a yo-yo, but when it comes to serving the Lord, it's nothing you should play around with. You should take every precautionary measures that you can take instead of playing with the Most High. That's something you should what? Fear. Right? It says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. That is a very wise thing to understand. I shouldn't play with the Most High. That's a very wise thing. Because in understanding the precautionary measures that you need to take when approaching the Most High or serving the Lord, you'll begin to seek out things that ultimately satisfies what His will is. Come on.
Fear, according to Merriam-Webster's online dictionary, an unpleasant, often strong emotion caused by anticipation or awareness of danger.
And what do you call that? When you have the anticipation of awareness of danger, what can you begin to live in then? Yeah, everybody, I want to know if you are understanding the harm or the danger or the precautionary measures that you need to take when you doing something or you involved in something. What do you call that? What is it called? What is that called? Come on, y'all. Let's go. Let's get them fingers. I want to see them fingers moving tonight. You said what's the definition of fear again?
Fear. An unpleasant, often strong emotion.
Go ahead.
Caused by anticipation.
The anticipation, right? Go ahead.
Or awareness.
Come on.
Of danger.
Of danger. These things allows us to live in what? I want to know if you understand the definition of fear and how we should look at the Most High. This allows us to live in what, young man James? I want to know. I want to goddamn know. I want to know that y'all know. Come on. Everybody waiting. Do y'all want me to put it? Y'all want me to get y'all the answer? No. Do y'all know the answer? Or y'all want me to give it to you for time's sake? It can only be one thing. We only been talking about it since the opening of the class. And if you're afraid to get it wrong, then you're not living in what I would care to say the topic of this class tonight is. Well, damn it, I'll give it to you. Reality. It can only be reality, right? Right. Understand it. Read the definition of fear again for me.
Fear. An unpleasant, often strong emotion.
Okay.
Caused by anticipation or awareness of danger.
Anticipation or awareness of a danger. If you know these things that are around you, you can then live in reality. Meaning you will take the proper measures to ensure that you're not harmed.
Right.
You would take all the necessary tools and skills and trade that you would need to make sure that anxiety comes down. You understand? That's reality. And having those tools, young man James, and accepting the reality gives us accountability for what we do, right or wrong. That's what it means when you talk about fearing the Lord. You make the necessary adjustments when you come into this school. You put on all black, you shut your goddamn mouth, you learn whether you was right or you wrong. You learn whether you was good or evil. Look at yourself and say, this ain't the goddamn church. The church say, turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, your neighbor is high. Your neighbor is sniffing crack, and he's probably gay. Yes, that's your neighbor. If they're not gay, they're a pene in a culo, and it was Muhammad say, yeah, he got a pene in a culo. Yes, your church members. Yeah, the one with the nice suits. They all like that. All your nice rappers that you like to listen to. Young Thug let the cat out the bag the other day. Since y'all want to snitch on everybody, Young Thug said we all been taking it. Well, damn, Young Thug. You didn't surprise me. You know what I'm saying? But it goes to show, like, without this truth, the level of accountability, people live in their own strange ass realities, man. Not the reality of what God says, because they don't fear the Lord. If you fear the Most High, keep the law, statutes, and commandments, you can then live in reality. Right. This is going to harm me. God is pleased with this. This is something that the Most High honors. This is something that the Most High dishonors. This is an abomination to the Most High. This is acceptable to the Most High. These things happen when you fear the Most High and you live in reality. You understand? Law, statutes, and commandments, and the reality of life. There's no other way around it, right? So read the bottom half of that, bunk, y'all. A good understanding have all that do his commandments, right? A good understanding. What is a good understanding? What happens when you understand something? If you understand something, when we begin to understand something, we can live in reality. That's right. How can you live in reality with something that you don't understand? That's the confusion that's in the goddamn Christian church. A lot of us going in there thinking that you understand something, but you are completely clueless. We all was completely clueless. I went for the goddamn church candies and the Pastor Johnny teenage daughter. Yes, that's why I was in there. No understanding, monk, y'all. I was going for what I wanted, not what the Most High said. And my parents, not knowing no better, they didn't hold me what? Accountable. All they said, well, at least he in here. But I was trying to figure out other things in life. Right. And I couldn't find the reality of life in church. You won't find it. You won't find it. What you will find in church is the LGBTQRS community. Right. You'll find a lot of divorced men and women. You'll find a lot of single parent homes. You'll find those things in that church. Right. You'll find a bunch of lies. You'll find the misunderstanding of the Bible in the church. That's what you will find. And if you do not understand, or the misunderstanding is in church, then you also understand that they don't fear the Lord. Everybody cool on that? With understanding, you can have reality, man. With understanding, you can decide whether it's right or wrong. The law helps us deal with the reality of life and avoid all the goddamn drama. Give me the definition of drama, if you could, bunk, y'all. And that's the problem with 99.9% of all the things that we do in the earth. We just don't understand it. And you know what? In this here go reality right here. You'll buy a vehicle and don't understand how to fully work it. But when you take it into the dealership, somebody who understands how it works, then you have to accept the accountability of the things that you done wrong to the vehicle. You crank your car up, you don't let it warm up, you just put it in drive and drive off. You don't change the oil in it, the recommended service oil changes. Ain't what it says? The recommended times of service based on the mileage. You don't understand any of that. You're not living into reality until you take it into the dealership. And then he give you a nice bill. And then once you get the bill, you pay the bill. You paying the bill is you accepting what? Accountability for what you done wrong to that goddamn car. Well, that's how the Most High looks at us. All the wrong that we've done in life, all the misunderstandings that we did not have. You come into this truth, you come into this dealership, the I.S.U.P.K, this dealership. We clean you up, bunk, y'all. We change your all, bunk, y'all. You become brand new in here. Just like you drop your car off at the dealership, how you get that? They may wash it up and detail it for you. You can take an old regular beat down car. You trade it in and they put it on the lot. They service it, put it back on the car lot brand new because they understood what it take to make. They understood the reality that it took to make sure that car was up to par, man. But we don't do the same thing to how we live our lives. Our lives be completely beat down and we refuse to take accountability for every goddamn thing. Blame everybody else. And in some aspects, it's true. A lot of our issues that we deal with as adults, we never got a chance to deal with the reality of what happened to us as children. But in the things that we do and we understand, bunk, y'all, we got to take a level of personal accountability for what we do. So then we can live in reality and not be full of drama. You got the definition for drama?
Come
on.
Drama.
Uh-huh.
A state, situation, or series of events involving interesting or intense conflict.
Intense what?
Intense conflict of forces.
Now, where does that drama come from? Lack of understanding. So when you look at our lives as Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, look at all the drama and intense altercation that we involve ourselves in. It's because of our lack of understanding. We don't fear the Most High. That goddamn Christian church and these leaders and the oppressor are running a gamut on us day in and day out. And we don't have no understanding about the reality of how we live life. Come on with it.
So like if I may, so you talk about that understanding. We truly don't understand or can't comprehend the true nature of God.
Right.
Because of the miseducation we've learned from the church. They teach that God is all love.
Love.
But when I read the Bible, it says the Lord is a man of war.
Right.
He wants your fear. He don't give a damn about your love.
He don't give a damn about that. Huh? Right. So you think about God is all love. Now what can you be held accountable for if everything that you do is all goddamn love? It's peaches and creams and goddamn starbursts and rainbows and what can you change if everything is love? Like what can you be held accountable for if everything is love? I just punch you in your goddamn eye. I love you. You can't do a goddamn thing. They don't do that. I love you. I said I love you. No level of accountability. You can't live a life of reality until you accept the fact that there are some things that we have to change. And living God's law, statutes, and commandments allows us to live in reality, not this altered state, man. The state of delusion that we live by from day to day. Come on, man. Commander YAHANNA, the generals, the captains, Captain I thought, man, we lay these things down as leaders in this school. Right. Not for us just to look at it and be like, oh, that was nice. That was real nice that he said that. Hell no, he's not saying it just to be wasting his breath. He's saying so we can be wise about our decision making, so we can live in a state of reality and be accountable for the things we do. These classes, history class, brotherhood class, law class, language class, allows us to live in the reality and understand that all these things have been stripped from us as a nation of people. All those things have been covered up. Not an African American. You're not just the nastiest things that they call us all the time, bunker, y'all. Right. Now we the greatest nation of people to ever walk the face of the earth. And why can't we live in that reality alone? Look at the basketball games. Nigga, we the best. Look at the football games. We're the best. Look at the mathematicians. Look at all the doctors, all the lawyers. And these are the ones that, and all the things that they cover up throughout history. Think about a place like Lake Lanier. Before it was Lake Lanier, that was a thriving black town that was covered up, flooded, just so we can get out of there. Seneca Village, that's in New York, flooded just so they wanted us out of there. If you understand those things that our forefathers and foreparents went through, you can deal with the reality of knowing that we are hated in this goddamn earth, man. Then you can change. How can you change thinking that God is all love when we've been getting the short end of the stick every goddamn time we turn around, man? You take that accountability. You should light a goddamn fire up under your ass when it comes to changing your life. And I'm seeing it because I'm seeing how people were slipping. We're slipping. You can't let these opportunities of real life slip away. Real wisdom start with us fearing the Most High, fearing the Lord, man. Then you can live in a state of reality, bunker, y'all. Drop that. Let me get Ecclesiastes 12 and 13, Baba Kashaw. Salaki, y'all got any question about accountability, y'all can drop it on me. Man, they don't like that word. They like the word account, bunker, y'all. Yeah, my account, not my accountability. They don't like that one. Ecclesiastes 12 and 13.
Khan. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 13.
Come on.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
Go ahead.
Fear Yahweh and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
What did that verse just do? If you read this verse for the very first time, what does that do? What does reading this verse give you? Anybody?
So, like, if I may,
come on, Bunker.
It basically summarizes the whole purpose of life, of this human experience. It's telling you exactly what you need to know with respect to what you need to do in order for you to be, as far as your duty is concerned, that's your office,
right? Is
to keep God's law, statutes, and commandments.
There you go.
Period.
Right. So, and we talk about keeping God's law, statutes, and commandments. We can live a life of what? Reality.
Yeah, right.
You understand? So read it again for me.
Khan, it's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion.
So when you say let us hear, what does the word hear mean in the Bible? Is it just talking about merely your ears? Just talking about, hey, your ears, man. Hear this. Man, when somebody say hear this, like Cap said, hear this, brother. Hear this. Hey, what they say? What they say? Like, hear ye, hear ye. What are they saying? Attention. May I have your attention? May I have your undivided? Listen, pay attention. I need your what? Understanding. Of what I'm about to say, of what you're about to witness. Right? Come on, sis. Take heed to, right? Hear ye. Most High in Christ. Hear ye, listen, understand. Read that verse again, Bunky.
Come in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 13.
Go ahead.
Let us hear.
Let us understand. Come on.
Hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
The whole matter. Let us hear the conclusion. Conclusion means the end. If we were to put it all together, if you were to understand all of it and put it together, if you understood the law, statutes, and commandments, if you understood brotherhood, if you understood that the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of, if you understood that we've been stripped of all our heritage and the things that we had and under this empire, if you understood that, if you understood the greatest man that ever walked this earth, Yahushua, was a black man from the tribe of Judah. If you understood all of that, if you put it all together, if you conclude all of it, don't leave anything out. Don't leave the things that you don't want to be accountable out. Don't leave those things. Put all of it in there. Put all your past relationship, all your past whoring, all your past hope mongering, all your past pimping, all your past slutting, all your past lying, all your past stealing, all your dope dealing. Put it all together. Put it up against this Bible and how we're supposed to live our lives. Right. If you understand the conclusion and this matter, read on.
Fear Yahweh.
Do what?
Fear Yahweh.
Right. So if you understood all the things you'd have been through in life, if you measure it against what God says in the short time we done been in the school, it's worth you fearing the Lord, man. It's worth us fearing the Lord if you put it all together. Don't leave your little don't leave your blunt wrapper out. Bunk y'all. Don't leave your little girls trip out that you don't want nobody to know about. You want yeah. You don't leave that married woman that you were dealing. Don't leave her out either. Right. If you fear the Lord and He allowed you to live, and He didn't destroy you on the earth when you didn't. What it say? Better not deserve. Yeah. Better than most, better than not deserve. If you understood that, the opportunity that the Most High laid for us in these classes to learn this truth about who we are, being the Lord's chosen people, take advantage of it. Live in the reality that, guess what? We all supposed to be destroyed. Right. Living with the reality that, guess what? You don't think you can come in here and be perfect versus imperfect. You can deal with the real purpose of life with knowing the reality that I got to deal with the whole thing, Bunk, y'all. Right. Not just the piece that I want to deal with. But that's the thing, right? When you take accountability, you can't just be like you can't be like that nigga that broke nigga that show up at the table. And you know, I had the hamburger and the cheeseburger. Right. No, you gotta pay for your own. you trying to leave the other stuff out. No, the whole matter, man. You can't leave what you want to leave out. You gotta put it all together. You gotta take accountability for all of it, man. Then you can understand the whole matter of what YAHANNA meant, like Him dying for our sins. You can understand what it was. You can understand how we lost everything that we had once you understand the whole matter. You can understand it then. It's bittersweet. You're like, God damn. Yeah, that's me. Right. Yeah, that. But then you can look at yourself proudly today, Bunk, y'all, and say, I'm a better man. Right. I'm a better husband. You understand? I'm a better warrior. I'm a better fighter. You understand? Now I know how to fight. Now I know when to fight. Right. Now I know what I'm fighting for. That's the whole thing. Because without this truth, what the hell are we fighting for? What you fighting for? What you be fighting for? Christianity? A God that loves everybody, that you'll never receive justice for? You're going to die and go to heaven and be with the KKK member? We all going to hold hands and sing, we're going to all get along? And no real justice for black people, Hispanic and Native Indian, none whatsoever. You just got to love every goddamn body. Nope, I want to hear the whole matter. That's right. Give me the conclusion. Give me. I can take my personal accountability. Let me take that. But also, I want the whole matter. Give me the whole thing. What else to say? Fear the Lord. And what, Bug, y'all?
And keep His commandments.
Now I got some. Now I'm cooking with hot grease. Now I know I got to fear the Lord, keep the commandments. That's the whole conclusion of the whole matter, right? Come on.
For this is the whole duty of man.
Now I have a what? Clear, defined purpose. Now I'm cooking with hot water now, Buck, y'all. Now I'm cooking with hot grease. I have a clearly defined purpose on how I should live my life. The commandments. Law, statutes, and commandments. Fear the Lord. Oh, the fear of the Lord said, I can't do that. Oh, that's clearly defined. The Lord said, oh, I can't marry her. No sweat, Lord. I feel you. Don't worry about it. You ain't got to worry about me.
Salakia.
Come on.
Make it easy on yourself.
I make it easy. The Lord made it easy on us, huh? If you make something easy on a brother or sister, you can deal with the reality of what's in front of you. You can understand the consequences of your actions. You can understand the cause and effect. But when you don't fear the Lord and you don't understand the whole matter, you're going to pick out only the things that you like. That's all. You just want the things that make you feel good, to make us feel good. You don't want nobody to stand in the way of the orgasm that you want. Yeah, I'm gonna leave him. I ain't never like, he wasn't he wasn't a hot, he didn't value me. Yeah. Huh? Yeah, man, my that old lady, man, yeah, we can't be together because I met somebody new. Her name Tanya. Yeah, yeah. What you mean? Now you got to deal with what, Bunk, y'all? Drama. You seen the story of P.J. Washington and Brittany Renner? It's all over the internet. And the crazy part about it, Jim Muhammad, he's so heavy. The crazy part about it, I know we're talking about what the argument is supposed to be about the dope, but you're doing it in front of the child. Let me know that you don't love that child. You don't understand the reality of what you're doing in the presence of your children. The child is traumatized by the drama. You don't understand what your purpose. You don't understand the duty of man or woman. You're refusing to take accountability for every goddamn thing that you're doing. So now you got to accept what? The consequences of your actions. You got to deal with the cause and effect. Why can't we just be obedient to what the Lord said, Bunk, y'all? Why can't we just fear the Lord? Why can't we just keep the law, statutes, and commandments? What's wrong? I need to go to camp. I'll be there all day. I can't wait. I mean, because it's real for me. Because you think about how many things and how much time we waste thinking we living. I'm just being real, man. You know how many times people say that? I'm real. I hear brothers on the slate. What's up, Mark? I'm being real. They was real. His sister, I'm living my life. And I just be like, "Oh, you really?" I say, "What you explain it?" And I find myself being at the slave, and I'm knowing not to have these conversations because all I'm gonna do is confound our brothers and sisters. So I got to find a way of teaching and talking to them indirectly, so maybe they'll pick up what I'm putting down. And sometimes they just look at me strange. Just look at me like, "Man, Clint, you." I said, "Yeah, I'm all that and a bag of chips. I'm that." I'm telling you, I'm full of self-confidence, monkey, y'all. I tell you, walk through hell backwards with gasoline draws on, like that, and say the hell with it, because that should be the purpose. How can you tell your value if you're not tried in the fire? What defines a man or woman? It can't be just living by your means and what you deem to be right or wrong. What's the game in that? The game has to be, I'm going to go against the thing that I would do to get what I really want. You understand? I want the kingdom and the crown on my goddamn head. So I'm willing to forsake all these things that are in the earth, man. Yeah, she winked at me, but that which is for the streets. Damn, she got a nice shape. But how many other men has she bedazzled that shape in front of, Bunk, y'all? Sisters, you got to do the same thing. You got to look at, like, women, y'all are beautiful. Our sisters are absolutely drop dead gorgeous. And my God, think about the perfume that they have now, Bunk, y'all. You know, the perfume that the sisters had when we grew up. They had Elizabeth Taylor. And what other perfume that the sister wore? What's that? Lotus, White Diamond, Lotus. Sisters, what are some of those perfume that y'all wore back in the days? The early what? 96. Let's do 96. Red Door. That Red Door. God damn. Some of that old perfume. Now, brother, sisters, perfume. What nigga you know not gonna turn around when you walk by him? What the hell are you talking about? So let it be more about what's between your goddamn ears, not what's between your legs. That's the reality of how you should live your life when you have a what? Purpose. What's in your head, not between your legs. What's in your head, not who's in your bed. I should be a rapper. That rhyme. I should be a rapper, Bunny. I'm gonna start back rapping again, Bunky. Yeah. I'm gonna start busting lyrics. Got too old. I'm dealing with reality. I'm dealing with reality, brother. Sisters, it's a thing. So don't get caught up in like, oh yeah, I can. Sure, there's a man, a writer, and your inbox and Instagrams are full of men waiting to take you out on a night of town. But soon as that time is over with, you got to deal with what? The reality. He didn't really give a damn about you. You just another check off the block. Another check mark, another notch under his belt. So when you put your life into play in your real actions, you can have accountability for what you do, Bunk, y'all. Then you can live in reality. So you can make sound decisions and fear in the Lord, man. That is your purpose. That's your purpose. If you ever wonder why you're here and I don't know what I'm doing with my life, learn to fear the Lord first. Start there. It's just like writing any paper. You deal with an outline, right? You start with a topic, and then you go to your first paragraph, and you have supporting detail. That's what life has to be about. Your purpose is to fear the Lord. Keep these law, statutes, and commandments, all right? Psalms. Let me get the book of Psalms 19, Bunk, y'all. So everybody ain't hitting that chat button tonight. That accountability is ooh, nigga. I want him to call on me.
Psalm 19
and 7.
Con. This is the book of Psalm, chapter 119.
Just like it. 19.
Just this is the book of Psalm, chapter 19.
Hold on, let me get that.
Well,
you and Quadam, boy. All right, let's get it.
He got me beat.
19 and 7.
Con. It's the book of Psalm, chapter 19, verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul.
Go ahead.
The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple.
Now here we go again. If you wise about something, you have to be dealing with what? Reality.
That's right.
The law of the Lord. Here we go again. The law of the Lord is perfect, man. So the question I would have, what is the imperfection? What is the imperfection? I want to know what it is in imperfection. If we talk about the law of the Lord is perfect, what is the imperfection?
Salaki, if I may. Anything that falls short of that standard, anything that would have a flaw in correlation to the law.
Right.
So if the law is the standard, the law is the goal, the mark.
Okay.
The measure.
So the law is the goal or the measure,
anything
right?
That falls short of that,
okay,
is flawed.
Anything that falls short of that is imperfection or flaw.
That's right.
Okay. So what reality would you want to live in?
I want perfection.
So if we're looking for reality and how to live a perfect life, you got to live by what? The law. If you're not living by the law, you are living an imperfect life. You're living a life that is full of imperfections. So the first thing is defining your purpose and understanding I got to fear the Lord and keep the law, statutes, and commandments so I can be perfect. So if I don't understand that part, I'm living a life full of imperfections. What do imperfections allow to happen in your life? What begin to seep in when you have imperfections in something or something that is flawed? Drama. There you go. Drama. Thank you, Buck, y'all. Drama. When you live a life full of imperfections, the drama is coming, Akwatian, brothers and sisters. Always drama. Your reality falls short. Perfection to our lack of accountability. God, thank you, young man James. The lack of accountability, what happens? It's always somebody else. I didn't know. I didn't want to. Did you want to know? I didn't think it was I didn't think it was such a big deal. Well, why wouldn't it be a big deal? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Drama and oh, my sister, you all on it. That's what I'm saying. It's you live a life for imperfections. 9 times out of 10, we can all tell when that door has swung open and drama creeps in. Put a 10 in the chat if you don't, if in your past life before you came into the truth, when you done something that was imperfect, immoral, did you not witness drama walk through the door? Put a 10 in the chat if all right, Most High Christ says, Sister Bayana. We got some sisters that's in here they're gonna have a what, bunk, y'all? What are they looking for? We got sisters in here who understand what the level of what? Accountability. Put a 10 in the chat if you open the door, right? Because of your imperfections, and then that drama walked in. Come on.
Salak, if I may, that is the absolute difference between a woman in the world and a woman in the truth.
Come.
They're not dancing around that accountability.
Right.
They're accepting it.
They stick it. You like, pow. You
right.
Like Hebrew Academy. Pow. You stick. You pow. Fight stance. Stick. You come into this truth, you learn your purpose. You can take accountability for the things you've done in your past, because Christ died for that. Then you understand the whole purpose. So without understanding the whole purpose of what Christ died for the things you did, not the things you're doing. Things we did, not the things you're going to do. Faith and works are the things that you do. Your deeds. You want to live a life that is full of to be perfect, man. How can you be perfect if you don't understand the law? Understanding is reality. So we must have the reality of what the law means. It allows us to understand the things that are right and the things that are wrong. It allows us to take accountability for the things that are right and the things that are wrong. It gives us the perfect measuring stick in the life and the person that we used to be and the person that we're fighting to be from day to day. Now, you may not be there yet, but damn it, you're in the class every night to learn how to get there. We in here these classes together. That's why the scripture said being able to repent. So you can get away from the thing that you did wrong. Be better. A wise man fall how many times? But you got to get up. You can't stay down. That's why the scripture say, forgive thy brothers. Not 7 times 7, but 70 times. Why? Because this is a journey, man. And in this journey, it's a journey in life. And this life get better and better when you understand your purpose. And the whole duty of man and woman. That's the law. But without understanding, look at this empire today. You got the cabinet all over the guy. See, they'll put on the news that they're fighting for power and all that. They really just trying to decide how we gonna spend the money. It's all a money game for the oppressor. It's all about money. It's all about his money, his story, his money, his future, his present, his past. When are we going to take hold of what our future is going to be? When are we going to take hold of it? When are we going to decide to live in our purpose and keep the law, statutes, and commandments? When are we going to decide to live in our reality? We can live in our reality once we accept the accountability bunk, y'all. We can be perfect if we follow the law. Right. It's like the law is perfect. Well, you can be perfect if you follow the law. Is that not right? Or you're going to be imperfect. Read that verse again, bunk, y'all.
In the book of Psalm, chapter 19, verse 7.
Uh-huh.
The law of the Lord is perfect.
We said that. Come on.
Converting the soul.
Do what?
Converting the soul.
Why would there need to be a conversion? What does conversion mean? Why would you need to convert anything? Why would you convert metric to standard? To get a better fit or an exact fit? Think of what are some other conversions that take place that benefit people in life?
So, like, if I may,
come on.
We think about reality,
okay,
because that is one of the one of the objectives to what we're talking about today. That's the way of life. You know, you convert from being a child through adolescence to mature to an adult. So, you know, adapting to change. Nothing stays the same. Everything is constantly changing, constantly, I hate to say evolving, but that's what's happening. So as an adult, you know, the Bible says to be transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Mm-hmm.
What new things are you putting in your goddamn brain, Salakia?
Right. That's what start with.
The church has failed us.
The church has failed us. So you have to unplug from that thing.
America's failed us.
Yeah. You got to convert from that thing.
Right.
The thing that Martin Luther King said we should stand on.
Thanksgiving, we ain't getting closer as a family.
No, Thanksgiving ain't working.
Right.
Christmas is not working.
Right.
The 4th of July and blowing off your goddamn fingers is not working. You're scaring the hell out of all the kids when you can walk around with 3 goddamn fingers because you just can't see the lead of fireworks alone. You should convert to something by now. You keep going, by the year 2033, you're going to be like this, trying to light a goddamn fireworks. You should convert your goddamn soul. How many women have you had? How many STDs have you had? Gonorrhea, syphilis. You've had quite a few. You should convert. You should hurry up. The plan B's wasn't working for you, huh, sis? Oh, okay. You should convert. Oh, the drugs she was selling. Somehow they fell in your kid's lunch pail. Now your kid is sick. And then you got CPS at your door, right?
Right.
Talking about, your kid was sick. You walking there smelling like an ounce, saying what happened? Oh, my kid, I love my kid. I'll never do anything to hurt him. Yes, you would. Right. We found traces of cocaine in your kid's bologna sandwich. Yeah. You should convert your soul. That's us.
That's right.
You worried about the cops kicking in your door and wrongfully shooting your wife while she's asleep. We all need to convert, bunk, y'all. We have to.
Right.
Our survival is dependent on it.
Right.
Come on, bunk, y'all.
So, like, if I may, Sister YAHANNA says, can't keep doing the same, but expect something different.
Come. And to understand that, now you can live in reality. That's reality of life. You're dealing with accountability. Cause and effect, consequences to your actions. You can accept the accountability, man.
Right.
And these classes are a self-check class. You understand? When I read these scriptures, I'm thinking about how I can be better. How can I learn more? You know, oftentimes brothers be like, man, you be watching those classes? Yes, to this day, yes. Thursday nights, I'm watching the general scripture breakdown class.
Salakia, sir.
Come on.
We teach class,
Yeah.
leave class,
Yes.
go home,
watch class.
another class.
I remember, man, coming into this truth, man. I remember all out here that I.S.U.P.K. I thought I was losing my mind, man. I'm telling you. But when you find purpose, Monkey, y'all, when you find real purpose in life, can't nobody tell you nothing different. And it's only when you begin to live in the reality of accountability of the things you done wrong, man. You absolutely should be disgusted of the shit you done with your life, man.
Right. Don't
try to butter your life up and be like, yeah, I ain't never been this type of shut up. Don't think so highly of yourself. What you should think is the Most High spared you to be in these classes. Think that. Don't think like, yeah, I ain't never had no problem with weed. Yes, you did. Because your brother and your sister had a problem with weed. And you was afraid that maybe your children was going to get a hold to it. So you did have a problem with it. You just didn't know how to fight against it. That's all. We're all connected. You can't separate it we can't separate ourselves. We all one body. The dope affect all of us because the oppressor sees us as one. That's how the Most High sees us, as a nation of people. When he arrests a black man, he's arresting me. Not me, Bunky, y'all, but I could be him. I am. So I have to be accountable for what I do. So when I get pulled over, here you go, sir. Here's my registration. Here's my license. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And if I have to go downtown, then so be it. But I'll take accountability for what my purpose is, what I have on me or with me. Yeah. I wouldn't be like Young Thug. How you gonna snitch? I can't snitch on myself because when you're righteous, you don't have to worry about snitching on nobody. What am I gonna tell? Where were you at, Mr. Zaya and Yala on Saturday around 2:00? Hey, sir, I was at camp. So you didn't witness? Nah, I saw some oppressors walking by, and I threw white Jesus on the ground. Yes, that I did do. Yes. What were you doing on Saturday night? I probably in the bed because I'm old. Probably with one of the wives. One of them. I don't know which one. I took all 6 of them out last week. I said 6. Where you get 6 from? I don't know. Dreams. Wishful thinking, Bunk, y'all. Why wouldn't I think? I think highly of myself. That's all. We can live in reality once we understand the whole purpose of man, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. We can live with it. We can live with the accountability of the reality that we live with from day to day. And we can look at our brothers and sisters and see where we gone and made our mistakes, the imperfections of not understanding the law. But if we keep the law, we can be perfect. How do we know this? Because the law is perfect. That's it on that, Bunk, y'all. Proverbs. Come on.
Salakia, we're in the book of Psalm, chapter 19, verse 7.
Go ahead.
The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul.
Look, I got all the way off on conversion, right? Yeah. So we're talking about converting the soul, meaning the old person, right, that you used to be, that we used to be. You know what I'm saying? It gotta be converted to the new person.
That's right.
The conversion has to take place. That conversion take place when you're accountable. Once again, a lot of the trauma that we deal with as adults happened to us as children. That's why we keep the law, so we can convert that trauma into a new life, and you become a new person. You can be born again. That conversion has to take place. Read on.
The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple.
What does that mean, Bunky? I know you like that.
Yeah. So, like, if I may, so what we do in the I.S.U.P.K, we teach social etiquette. We teach daily life living skills according to God via the law, statutes, commandments. So when we go out in the street corners, you know, we understand what, you know, acknowledging these laws, statutes, commandments have done in our own personal lives. We understand the transformative effect of practically applying these laws, statutes, and commandments to our lives. And that's what we give into our family, yes, our nation, you know, the people that we, you know, are selflessly sacrificing ourselves for. So when we go to camp, when we teach these classes, I'm standing on the fact that this is real.
Yeah.
This is my reality. There is no separate reality. Reality is what it is. You can't live your own separate truth. So keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, that's real to me. It should be real to you.
Right.
The testimony of the Lord is sure.
It's sure.
Yeah. This is fact.
It's fact. It's reality. It is sure.
It's
right?
Sure.
That's another word for reality, right?
Yeah. You can't be a goddamn coward.
Hello. Good night.
Yeah. Because doing that now, that's where the flaws come in.
The imperfections.
The imperfections come in. You know, give the people what Christ gave the people. Salakia.
Most High in Christ. Well said. Most High in Christ. Give him a hand for that. I know you like that one. I like you like the testimony of sure. I know you like that one.
It's Salakia, because you know, going to camp, you don't understand. You coming in from the world, you don't truly understand the value of doing this very ancient practice. Yeah. The prophets of old, this is what they did. They stood on the pulpit of wood.
They did.
They cried aloud and they spared not. They didn't give a damn about your feelings. They did not mince words. They gave you exactly what the Most High Power, you know, what he wanted to convey to man.
And the reality of it, Monk, y'all, they was in danger. And it what it said?
Right.
Let me get the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verse 23. Proverbs 6 and 23. Man, I appreciate everybody rocking with us tonight, man. Once again, we're in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Y'all pull up. 454 East Russell Street. Y'all pull up, man. You know what I'm saying? It's pay your tithes. www.I.S.U.P.K. Pay your tithes. You feel the Lord, man. Tap in, lock in. Let's go.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verse 23.
Go ahead.
For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life.
Right. Most High in Christ. That's heavy, right? So we're going to start with it. It said, for the commandments is a lamp. Well, what is a lamp used for? See, a lamp, our dumb ass today, we just think of a lamp as something you walk into a room and turn on. Now, I know modern day we become so accustomed to being spoiled in this goddamn place, right? From all these inventions and technology. Back in the old days, a lamp was used to tend to the flock, right, under the cover of darkness, so you can be aware of the things that's around you. Y'all seen the old movies, right? When they walking around and they had a lantern, they out walking around, they hear a noise. But y'all, they got the lantern. They will look. He's looking around. What's the noise? Right? They looking for what, Monk, y'all?
So like you're looking for danger.
Danger. Looking for danger. Modern day time, niggas got a flashlight. Let me do that. I say lamp, they just, flashlight. You outside with a flashlight because you hear a noise, or you think that there's a threat, or you know there's an imminent threat around, right? Well, the law is the commandments are a lamp. Keeping the law, statutes, and commandments allows us to see under the cover of darkness.
Right.
What is the darkness? Without understanding. And then what it say in the scriptures? Mm-hmm. The darkness is without understanding. The standing of how we should live our lives according to what God says. Law, statutes, and commandments. That lamp, it can illuminate the darkness. You can see the treacherous ways of this world and make sound decisions on how you're going to serve the Most High, how you're going to fear him, instead of being afraid of what's happening in the things that you don't see. That's what a lamp is used for.
Right.
Everybody understand? The lamp is what, Bunky, y'all?
A lamp is a source of intellectual or spiritual illumination.
I knew you looked it up. Look. Read it again for him, Baba Kushal.
Like, if I may.
Heavy, right?
We in the book of
yeah. No, you want it. That's what read that again. The brother here with me tonight, because he lamp. Read that again here.
Lamp, according to Merriam-Webster's online dictionary,
go ahead.
The tertiary definition, a source of intellectual or spiritual illumination.
Mm-hmm. You see? It's not just me. I ain't making this up. Did I put that bunk out? That's your Google machine right there, right? That's your smart book. And then what they call it? A lamp. Sound, intellectual thought, man, not your own. We dummies. Us is dummies. We stupid. We are simple. But keeping the law, statutes, and commandments allows us to be wise. Allow us to make sound decisions. Keeping the law, statutes, and commandments allows us to deal with reality and take accountability. You got to come in these classes and learn what we should do and shouldn't do. Not to put yourself in situations that you shouldn't be in. And then you're trying to figure out, how do I even get out of here? How do I get out of this? You got to take accountability to think that you did that first. All right? Read the rest of that. For the commandments is a lamp, and the law is light.
And reproofs of instruction are the way of life.
And that's it. And the reproof of instruction, the correction of instructions are the way of life. Does it say your instructions?
Wow.
What instructions could it only be referring to? The Most High's instructions. If we understood the whole matter, if we understood our purpose, you will understand the Most High's instructions on what we're supposed to be doing. But if you don't understand the whole matter, you're going to follow your own instructions. You're going to avoid accountability until you get cancer, until you end up with as I at house in Virginia, as I die slowly, till you don't know who the father your kids are, till you don't know where your kids are. That happens to the men too, Bunk, y'all. Yeah, that woman, that slut of a woman that you thought you had, and she was cool until she moved away and you ain't seen your kid in 5 years. But who instructions were we following then? The Christians, that Christian church, the oppressor. These instructions that they give us from day to day, these are not the instructions that are in this Bible. We live by all type of street laws, the street codes. What's some of the things that we live by? The sisterhood, what they call it, sisterhood codes, the bro codes, and then what they call it, bro codes, the whole codes. We live by all type of codes, and all these things are just very very base level understanding of what life really is. You come into this truth, you understand the real purpose of life. You understand the whole matter. You understand the law and the reality of life. That's the class. You understand the law, statutes, and commandments, and the reality of life. Then you can take accountability for what you do, what you say, how you treat one another, how we treat one another. Because without this, nobody's going to tell you you're wrong. You know, women get with each other. You ever look up the word trauma bond? Trauma bonding. And men do it too. I just want to look at the word. I ain't trying to just pour it on the sisters, but sisters are known for, you know, because they're so caring. That, you know, they so emotional and so soft and tender. Yeah, those things. Yeah.
Trauma bonding,
according
to Google, is an unhealthy emotional attachment that develops between an abuser and their victim. It is a complex phenomenon that can occur in abusive relationships such as domestic violence, stalking, or hostage situations. Trauma bonding involves a cycle of abuse and intermittent reinforcement. The abuser alternates between periods of abuse, physical, emotional, or sexual, and periods of kindness, affection, or manipulation. This creates a sense of dependence and confusion in the victim.
Yeah. And you know what happens when people go through things like that? In math, they call it like terms combining, right? Like, you know, like terms joined together. That's what happens in real life. You think you're going through the same thing that this person that you're talking to is going through, but you're not. You're just trying to draw a parallel because you feel like there should be some level of cohesion when it's not. Those cycles we have to break so we can deal with the reality of the things that have happened to a person and get them the help that they need. Your trauma and their trauma together is just more trauma. You got to get something that is outside of the situation so you can deal with the reality of what that life is. That's what's happening in across the globe right now. Black, Hispanics, Native Indians, we all understand that our lives are filled with trauma, man. You go to look at the history and you can just see the pain and the hurt and anguish that Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians has gone through in life. Do me a favor, Monk, y'all. Look up the Alabama riots and they're in the water hoses. See, can you pull up on the YouTube wheel for me? So you can look it up. I want to see the water when they sprayed the water hoses. I want to say 90, 70 PSI. Somebody Google for me and look up the fire hydrant water pressure. Somebody look up I want to know the PSI that comes out of the fire hydrant. I want to know, y'all put it in the chat for me. I want to see if we find a video, Bunk, y'all. We can find a video for me. I want to know the PSI that comes out of the water hose that the fireman uses. Is it the YouTube ain't working? Oh, there, I see it. Yeah, give me that one, the one down in the corner right there. Right, right here. That's a video.
I believe so.
I want to see if it's I want to see the video. I want to see the video. If I can see a video, somebody put it in the chat for me. I want to know what's the PSI for fire hydrant. You just go to YouTube. Just go to YouTube. Mm-hmm. Look at YouTube tripping, huh? Okay. I want you to find the riots, fire hydrants, the Alabama. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He said. No, he said the hose.
Yeah, I want to find the when they sprayed, when they were using the water cannons to control the riots. You can find the dogs too. Keep going down. Let me see something. That probably got all of them in it, don't it? Let me see. Start right there. Stop right there. Stop right there. Perfect. We can present that. I want to see this. Y'all bear with me, Bob Shaw. Between 20 and 100 PSIs. Come on, man.
That's crazy.
Y'all, we want to watch this video real quick, Bob Shaw. Is it showing?
The Birmingham, Alabama Children's Crusade, launched by Dr. Martin Luther King and the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, also known as SCLC.
All right, stop.
To march
stop the video. So let's talk about the Southern Christian Conference and Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King realized he made a huge error in thinking that joining with the oppressor was going to somehow allow him to live in a different reality, bunker, y'all. Martin Luther King and the civil rights leader was trying to escape the reality of the oppressor being the devil that the Bible speaks of. To this day, the church is still omitting the law, statutes, and commandments as being the real purpose of life, to try to join with the oppressor. But I want y'all to take a look at this video and we'll see when you try to change your reality to something that you want it to be and not listen to what God says, man. Come on.
Christian Leadership Conference, also known as SCLC, brought national and global attention to the civil rights struggle in the United States. On May 2nd, 1963, black children who were trained in nonviolent tactics walked out of their classes and assembled at the 16th Street Baptist Church to march.
We're talking about children. I want you, if y'all listen to class, look at your babies. Look at your children. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 to 18 years old. They're children. And they were used. You know what I'm saying? The youth was used in this movement, bunker, y'all. You understand what I'm saying? The children were used to try to fulfill somebody else's reality. Martin Luther King had no real gumption to think about the real purpose of serving the Lord, man, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. He wanted to deal with white women. You understand me? That's who he wanted. He wanted to be able to swim in the pools that the oppressors had. In his dream, like the Bible says, that dreamer of dreams, this nigga was in an altered state of reality, man. And our people and our children suffered because of it. Keep playing. They probably won't
downtown Birmingham.
Let me speed this thing.
More than 1963 and television.
Yeah, that's what I want to see.
Across the country and world.
Yeah, you see that?
Provoking global outrage.
You see that?
Dr. King was also jailed during those protests, and in response to criticism, wrote his famous letter and in newspapers across the country and world, provoking global outrage.
That's all I wanted. Yeah, that's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. The trauma bonding does not help us. Talking about the issue that you may have to a brother or sister, you're making it worse. We have to take accountability and go fix our issues. We have to meet them head on. These atrocities that have happened to Black, Hispanics, Native Indians, our parents, our forefathers, see, this was their reality. These are the things that they were afraid of, because the Southern Christian Baptist churches and Martin Luther King had an altered state of reality. They didn't want to deal with the whole purpose of man or woman. They didn't fear the Lord, bunk, y'all. They didn't understand the law, statutes, and commandments. That's why these classes are so important today. The I.S.U.P.K is the only authorized teachers of this Bible, so we can deal with the reality that we live with from day to day. Taking personal accountability of how we change. Trauma bonding is a bunch of goddamn baloney, but it's a real thing. And with trauma, we let those imperfections come through, bunk, y'all. We let the marijuana, we let the cocaine, we let the dope, we let the games, we let the prostitution, we let the pimps, all these things sneak through the door, because we're not living by the law. And when you're not living by the law, you cannot be perfect. And when you cannot be perfect, you let imperfections walk through the door. And those imperfections changes the reality of your life, of our lives. The law, statutes, and commandments gives us the reality of how we live our lives, man. Right. The law, statutes, and commandments give us the reality of how we should live our lives. And Kawhi, right, they always goddamn sellouts, man. That's right. They always sellouts. And Martin Luther King realized it. He said, I fear I have just led my people into, yes. Yeah, you did. Because your people was trying to follow your reality. Those civil rights leaders, our people were trying to follow that reality. Still looking for civil rights to this day. And they're voted upon with every administration, bunk, y'all, if I'm not mistaken. When we should just understand the purpose of what the Lord asks us to do. Understand the whole duty of man. We have to live with the reality of how we should live our lives from day to day. Commander General YAHANNA has commissioned us to go out to these streets and teach our people the importance of keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. We have these classes every week. The importance of brotherhood and law, statutes, and commandments. If you love your people, share these classes with them. Forward them the address to these schools all across the world. Right. Get in class. And with that, I'm going to turn the class over to Preaching Prophet of the Lord. Bunk y'all.
Clap it up. I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K, started out at 1 West, 125th Street.
Is it on?
Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only.
Oh, it's muted.
Salaki. Check.
Come on.
I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K, started out at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. It means 10th. In the Hebrew, it's pronounced ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest funds, a free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. The upcoming Holy Convocation. We have the memorial blowing of trumpets, first day of the 7th month, which will be Sunday, the 21st of September of this year, according to the book of Leviticus, the 23rd chapter, verses 24 through 25. We also have, is it Austin? No, we got Cali.
Cali cookout.
The Cali cookout's coming up at the end of this month, followed by the Austin cookout in October, man. Get with your camp leader, set your affairs in order, all right? If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing our black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, I.S.U.P.K, which means to stand. Oh. Men of Israel, we're going to render one courteous salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Imam Shabbat, I.S.U.P.K, Barak, Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shabrak Thumb.
Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shabrak Thumb.
Yahweh Matah, hands down. Sar, turn and face the sisters, I.S.U.P.K, which means to stand. Men of Israel, we're here to render one courteous salute to our sisters. Men of Israel, Imam Shabbat, I.S.U.P.K, Barak, Yahweh Shabbat Thumb by Shem Yahweh Shabrak. Yahweh Matah, hands down. Class dismissed. Back in the studio.
Should be a rapper.
I get you back in the